In the latest episode of the Officer Tatum show, Brandon Tatum goes in on D.L. Hughley after Hughley criticized his response to the Nolan Wells tragedy in an Instagram video.
All right, let's get to D.L. Hughley. Look at this sorry, big forehead. Need some oil on that freaking canvas he got on top of his head. He need to take his sunglasses off, but he need to have his sunglasses on so he can look at his teleprompter so he can talk trash to me. First of all, D.L. Hughley is not on my level. One point in time, D.L. Hughley used to be the man. At one point in time, I used to like D.L. Hughley and I thought he was funny. Now, he was not even the top 5 in the Kings of Comedy, in my opinion. But I thought I respected his game. Just to grow up and realize D.L. Hughley is a simp, and he's a beta, and he's a crybaby, allegedly worth $10 million, but he's still crying about the white man every day. And he crying about the white man, yet he worked for white men companies. The one he worked for now is the CEO. I think it's run by black people, but there's also white people in C-suite positions in that company. It's not an all-black company.
He also brought up controversies from DL's private life, including infidelity and past comments concerning his daughter's abuse.
Blackly black. He's so black that he don't even care about black women enough to not cheat on his wife. He posted a picture of my wife. At least I ain't cheating on my wife. He cheated on his wife, got an outside baby. And a very unfortunate situation happened with his outside baby. And he want to come at me when he wasn't even there to protect his children. Then his young daughter gets into a sexual situation with a minor, where they both were minors, and she came to her dad in confidence, her black father, in confidence, and said she was being abused, and he didn't believe her. Brother, why are you talking about me? I'm finna play the clip for y'all. Why are you talking about me? You need to be worried about your own household.
Whether those attacks were relevant is another question. DL criticized Tatum's public commentary on a young man's death. Tatum responded partly by discussing the evidence, but also by trying to destroy D.L. Hughley's character. That may entertain his audience, but it does not automatically prove that his interpretation of the Nolan Wells case is correct.
And let's put that in position, or put that in perspective. All the drama I just mentioned with his inner family ain't now one of the suspects in that situation white. A white man didn't cheat on your wife. A white man didn't abuse your daughter. A white boy, I'd say. And a white man didn't take the life of your infant child whom you had out of wedlock while you were married. These are all black people doing this. And yet you cry about white people every day of the week. Listen to what this fool said about me, and I'm gonna critique it as we go. Roll it.
This is Brandon Tatum.
Y'all just see what unfunny ex-comedian D.L. Hughley just said about me. Posted a picture of me and my wife. To do what? To be a racist? You are the lamest dude in all of comedy.
What is more lame than calling yourself the job you used to have? You're not an officer anymore.
Pause.
You were a football.
It's called a moniker. People consider me as Officer Tatum because I became famous as Officer Tatum. And D.L. Hughley, that's your stage name. You still going by your stage name, Negro. You ain't even a comedian no more, passing out on stage and stuff. You ain't even funny no more. But you going by D.L. Hughley.
But the serious part of the argument concerned Nolan Wells. Tatum believes that available evidence does not support the claim that Nolan's white friends murdered him.
Just want to blame white folks. And so I go out there because I know that lame Al Sharpton and Mr. I Can't Read, Benjamin Crump, is just race hustling, y'all.
You talked about how those boys are innocent. You had proof. Now, I don't know whether they're innocent or not. I don't know what happened there. But I know one conversation with a failed football player and a social media influencer is not the predicate. You don't have any toxicology report. You don't have an autopsy report. You talked about black people acting a fool.
Okay, let's get to this. This fool say, I don't know the truth. But you are not a failed dude. I investigated crimes for a living, okay? And I didn't say they were innocent or guilty I let them talk, and the evidence that they presented put them in a position where they weren't even there when Nolan died. So what do you think they did? You think they're guilty just because they were his friends? They weren't there. They have video. They have Life 360. They got GPS coordinates. They showed us video of them leaving the island, getting towed out.
Tatum also responded to DL citing Nancy Grace as someone who found the case suspicious.
I left to believe that he goes out swimming all on his own, and the friend girl leaves, the mates from school leave, everybody just leaves him out in the water and he dies.
Now, Nancy Grace is a career prosecutor. She has tried 100 felony trials, 100, and not lost one. And she thinks something suspicious.
Pause. You ignorant Negro, Neanderthal, Neanderthal. I'll call you. You have no idea that I was on Nancy Grace's show today, going over this very topic. And won't you tune in and see what Nancy Grace had to say about what I said on her show? Nancy Grace isn't saying conclusively that, and this is Nancy Grace saying things without context and evidence. She actually said, Nancy Grace says she hope I'm right, but you Negroes can't wait to find a white person to disprove me. Talk about white people bad, but you want to find the first one you find white person.
Tatum believes commentators are taking a tragic and confusing case and forcing it into a familiar story. A black man dies around white people, therefore the white people must have killed him. He accused D.L. Hughley, Ben Crump, and Al Sharpton of race hustling and argued that they benefit from keeping black audiences angry.
You can't throw boiling water on a police officer and not get shot.
But you don't think people that were on a boat with somebody, in proximity to somebody, and that person comes that day acting so suspicious, they should be questioned?
Hold on. They were questioned, Stu Head. They talked to the police. This is why y'all ain't never gonna make it in life, man. This is why these people ain't never gonna make it, bro. Like, the only reason I don't totally think black people are completely a lost cause because I grew up around black people. I got black people in my family whom I love. So I have experience with black people who are not completely retarded. But when you look at these people, and I see why white people are sick of y'all. Because if you ain't never met reasonable black people, and you listen to these fools all day, you gotta think black people has gotta be the dumbest people on planet Earth. You have to be biased looking at the stupidity. You think a woman who throwing a hot boiling water on somebody should get shot. That's called deadly force. I don't think she should get shot because she's black. I think she gets shot because it's according to the law. If you're in fear of serious bodily injury or death, which boiling water can cause, then a cop can shoot you.
Tatum may be right that people should not accuse individuals of murder without proof. Social media speculation can destroy innocent lives, and a suspicious circumstance is not the same thing as a solved crime. But D.L. Hughley's distrust did not appear from nowhere either. Black families have a long history of seeing suspicious deaths poorly investigated. That history explains why many people become nervous when authorities or commentators quickly announce that race played no role before every question has been answered. Godfrey raised similar concerns on the latest episode of In Godfrey We Trust. Like DL, Godfrey attacked Tatum for dismissing the possibility of foul play. He called Tatum self-hating and accused him of becoming wealthy by taking positions against black people.
I Googled his net worth. It's like $11 million.
Officer Tatum?
Yeah.
Well, they pay because he's against black people, so they'll pay you for that. It's lucrative being a coon. He's a lucrative coon. It's very lucrative to be a coon. Sambos have salaries. Coons, Aunt Jemimas, handkerchief head ass nigga. They have $11 million to shit on black folks, and it's insanity. It doesn't even sound right. He sounds self-hating.
And it's not only Godfrey and D.L. Hughley. Several black commentators and even white commentators have now criticized Tatum's coverage. Tatum, meanwhile, believes many of them are ignoring evidence because admitting he may be right would damage their political message.
Officer Tatum is a very opinionated, super right-leaning channel. And like this guy has a reputation for being against the narrative that racism is even a thing in America. This guy has a reputation for ignoring facts and just clinging to a narrative. This guy has a reputation for creating and spinning a narrative in the favor of the way he wants it to be presented. So it's very telling to me that this is the channel that these guys decided to break their silence on.
Nolan and I just got super tight because we get a Waffle House once a week together, eat, and I mean, we were just super, super close.
That's the first personal example he's given this entire interview, is them meeting at Waffle House. That's what a personal example looks like when you're talking about a friend.
But his dad would swing by Waffle House, and like, hang out around us, but never, I was never around Nolan's parents a lot, but I mean, that didn't change our relationship any. Nolan and I were still just as close, and he was just as close with my friends as, anyone else. So,
as anyone else, because it's an associative relationship. Me and Nolan were just as close, and he was just as close with my friends as anyone else. He always has to bring in the friends because it's a friend group associative relationship.
This argument has become bigger than Nolan Wells. It has become another fight over who gets to speak for black people. DL and Godfrey believe figures such as Tatum receive attention by downplaying racism and attacking the community. Tatum believes figures such as DL and Godfrey keep black people trapped by treating every tragedy as proof of white racism. Both sides claim they are protecting black people. They simply disagree about what the main danger is. For Godfrey and DL, the danger is ignoring a possible injustice. For Tatum, the danger is accusing people without evidence and turning tragedy into racial propaganda. Tatum is entitled to defend himself, especially when people attack his career and call him racial slurs, but his response would have been stronger with fewer jokes about DL's face, marriage, and height. When a young man has died, the evidence should remain the center of the discussion. Nolan Wells deserves a proper investigation, his family deserves clear answers, and the people being accused deserve to be judged by facts rather than internet anger. Everything else, the insults, net worth comparisons, and arguments over who is the bigger sellout, is noise surrounding a tragedy that still needs the truth.